You have to hold it between your legs. Plug it in, Napoleon. This seems dumb. Plug it in. You know, one of those scenarios.
Right. You bought it on the internet. It's got to be true.
Yeah. It's on the internet. It's real. I mean, it exists. What was the, you had another thing you wanted to touch on. What was that?
Black Mirror Season 5, Episode 1, Striking Viper, the Street Fighter Mortal Kombat episode, where you pretty much go into a VR nightmare.
To anyone who hasn't seen it and is curious about seeing it, I mean, we're not affiliated, obviously.
Watch Netflix.
Said it a million times. Is Netflix, Black Mirror, Season 5, Episode 1, Striking Viper X.
Viper Strike X, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, either way, you'll find it. Season 5, Episode 1. But I don't want to talk about the episode. I want to talk about the technology that they use. Obviously in the future, a bit. But I'll tell you this, and I'll start it this way. I will never play a video game with my buddy again. I'll tell you that.
I don't want to play that game with you unless we're both men.
Well, yeah, if you're playing the game like you're supposed to play it, 100%. If you're playing the game in the scenario of the show, whatever. But what I want to talk about is the technology of how cool it would be to, like, they don't have, in the show, they don't have a VR helmet. Spoiler alert, again. It's just a thing that, like a little button type whatever with a little sticky, and you put it on the side of your head. And then as soon as you sync to the game, it basically, how I'm understanding it, it projects through your right into your brain, essentially. It kind of, all your senses become in the game. So when you fight in the game, if we're going off a fighting game, yeah, all the feelings are there. The physical aspect, which is, mind over matter is kind of what it does. But what they kind of say in the show is that in real life, you'll feel it. You might jiggle about, when you get punched and stuff, but it's not real. It's in your mind.
It's not going to have a lasting effect on your physical being.
Yes. And in the game, in the show, in the game, you watch the guy heal, after the fight happens. Like, his nose is bleeding, and then it just goes in. His lip was cracked, and then it healed. But there's scientific evidence in real life that you can, if your mind believes it, your body will do it. There was a study done. I saw, again, I don't have the site for it or anything like that. I'll have to look it up. And then I'll post it on the site if I can find it. But there's a study done with a sprinter, a runner, where they connected him to electrodes, ran him on a treadmill, and then they had him sit in a chair afterwards with the electrodes and do the whole exercise again, but without doing it, just thinking of everything. And all the synapses, the muscle memory, it all activated while he was just sitting there unintentionally. Really? So and it brings me to, the show again. It's one of those things that they kind of glazed over. They didn't explain it in that manner. They just said, if it happens in the game, I mean, you'll feel it in the game, but it's not a lasting effect. It's not, it kind of like a dream world where when you wake up, like, let's say, a horror dream, you step on something, you wake up, you'll feel that pain for a minute because it's in your mind, but your skin's not actually broken, and after a while it just goes away. Because it was a mental whatever, the thing that jars you out of your sleep, it'll be, something like that, but it'll go away, kind of like a dream. So that's kind of how the game theory was in there, and that would just be amazing technology. If VR could actually work that
games, way. Like MMA or MMO games, being God of War, that'd be fun.
Oh my God, that's what I'm talking about. If this technology ever, became real, which I mean, we're kind of on track. I mean, not in the next 3 years or anything, but it could be coming. But yeah, I'll only ever play one player game.
But I hope they block having sex with your bro while you're playing, Street Fighter. I hope they block that if that ever does exist, because That's just some shit, dude. But then you'd think that they make like Grand Theft Auto and you can go to a strip club and actually feel, all that craziness.
But that's one of the things that the show kind of, didn't touch on, but did touch on, because the game, or the synopsis of the episode says they discover something about the game. So it's not something that was written on the game saying, oh, you might be able to have sex with this character. It just, and I even said to my wife, I go, why the fuck would you even, like, they should be mannequins underneath. Like, have the ads, or the aspect of, the actual characters and stuff.
Yeah,
but
they're Barbie doll underneath.
Why would you give them genitalia? Yeah, exactly. Like, it didn't make any sense, but
brought me to my other
game,
question
like, that's
for you.
how the show went, just so to ruin it for you. Go ahead.
Do you think that they climaxed outside of the game? Do you think they had jizz in my pants?
I said that to my wife. I thought that was hilarious. I go, so do you think that happened? Because, mind over matter, wet dreams, it's kind of like a dream world in theory, maybe.
You also touched on how it would be on the screen. On it.
Oh, yeah. Like PlayStation VR, for instance, which we aren't affiliated with.
But send us it.
Whatever you do it. Huh?
Telling them to send us it. Send us some VRs for your plug.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll take all the VR, anything, new technology. We're all about it. We'll try and we'll review it. Anyways, on that, like when I'm playing that, I got the VR on. If you turn the TV onto that channel, anyone can watch it. But in the movie, or in the episode of Black Mirror, the screen just had the logo to the game. The only person who could see the game was the person with the VR system on. So, right. But then the whole episode, I'm like, he's going to get caught. Someone's going to catch him. This kid's going to catch him. Something.
And this kid catch him?
That's the thought I had the whole time. And then later you finally see the TV while he's under, and it's just got the logo on it because, I'm going off the theory of how the PS4 works. Yeah. Every time he gets hit, he'll do it like his body will spasm a little bit. So that's why I'm going off it's projected into your brain just like a dream realm would be. When you're sleeping, when you hit REM, you twitch, while you're sleeping. So.
And your eyes move around.
My theory to that.
Here's a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
Me and you, we put this little sticky thing on our head. Shout out to 3M for making the adhesive. We stick it on our head, and we play Mortal Kombat. Which character are you choosing?
Kano. Just because he sucks, and I like watching him get beat up.
Like, my favorite character is Raiden, but I feel like I'd choose Scorpion because it would be awesome.
Scorpion, Scorpion.
But everybody wants to be Scorpion.
I would. Well, if you chose Scorpion, I'd go Sub-Zero then.
That would be fun. That would be really fun.
Jax is another one that's fun if you're just doing brute force. Ryu.
Goro. How would you feel to have 4 arms?
Hadouken? Oh, yeah. And then that's the thing, too, is the sensations are real in the game, So
but if you've never felt like you've had 4 arms before, how would you know what that felt like?
Yeah, because it feels like you would need another section to your brain to control another set of limbs, which, Spider-Man at one point grows another set of limbs and becomes furry like a tarantula for some reason, which doesn't make any sense because he wasn't bitten by a spider that looked like a tarantula. I never understood that episode. But
so I'm going to throw another zinger at you, and I'm not sure if you've seen this episode of Black Mirror, but they also have where they use that little sticky thing on their head, but it records every one of your memories, and you're able to go back and play your memories. Not sure if you've seen that episode.
I have not seen that one.
Well, I'm going to explain it just a little bit for those, people that might want to watch it. But it's something called, like, the seed, and they put it, like, behind your ear, and you have this little remote control where you can control everything that you've seen in your life. It's like, a hard drive for your memories. And the episode, he walks into a party, and he sees his girlfriend talking to this guy that she hasn't noticed him yet. And he has this inkling that she's cheating on him or whatnot, and he keeps replaying the moment he walked in the door and her expression, and it's like, that shit would drive you nuts. I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it personally.
Yeah, you can't dwell on that. Yeah.
Apparently, the guy that she was with had an affair with her and stuff like that, and it ends in him coming to his house super drunk and fighting him and forcing him to delete his memories of her. Like, you can search it in your memories, like just type in her name, and everything that's ever had that person in that memory is there.
Wow.
And he like tries to force him to delete it, or I think she was there, or he ends up going to her and he's like, put it on the TV. Your memory of him, put it on the TV right now. Like, that's just some out of this world crazy shit. That's, they're Black Mirror is touching on the little things that are your brain. Go ahead.
You think that would keep you faithful? Like, guaranteed 100%. The fact that someone can check you at any moment.
I mean, it's personalized.
That would be some... Well, yeah, but that would be some insane... Like, why would you be in a relationship like that, for one, where someone wants to check your memory? Oh, what'd you do today? What'd you look at on your phone? What were you doing? You erased your history. Show me your memory. Like, how fucked would that be? Like, if it recorded my dreams, 100% on board.
Hell yes, dude.
Like, well, I mean, either way, I'd be on board. I got no worries. But it's just the fact of, like, being in that kind of relationship, that's not good. If you're in one like that, bounce the fuck out. That's my advice for the day.
Thank you, Lord B, for Lord B's advice of the day. So I was just thinking about this, and I've always kind of thought about this, and maybe I have actually talked to you about it, but, like, what if you could play video games in your dreams? Like, I could get some shit done. Like, I'm playing Assassin's Creed, and I'm trying to get all those little dots done. Like, I wish, because sometimes if I play it enough, I start to dream in video games. Like,
I do it all the time.
Right,
yeah.
And I'm like, I fucking wish that I could just play it in my sleep and get all this shit done. Like Guitar Hero, back in the day when it came out, I had a real big problem beating the last hard one. I don't even remember what it was. Come On My Wayward Son or some shit. But I tried all night to beat it, and I couldn't, and I dreamt about it all night, and I woke up the next morning, and I beat it. First try.
Nice.
Because I practiced in my sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, muscle memory. It's the same way, with, like, karate or jiu-jitsu or anything like that. Like, you do it, but then you rest, and then the next day you can do it because your body learned the muscle memory of it and had time to rest knowing the muscle memory of it. I'm not saying, how cool would that be, like in The Matrix? Can you fly that helicopter? I can now. Like, how cool would that be? Do that kind of stuff in your dreams. Like, that would be amazing. If
Master
you just,
Kung Fu in your
plug
sleep.
in or whatever. Man, we would all be like master fighters who could do anything. Everybody would be a rocket scientist. No one, we wouldn't have to do it because, we'd know it. But that would be amazing.
Another question for you. Do you think we are going to get a game like the Oculus or whatever was in Player One, where it's like Grand Theft Auto almost, but people can come and hang out with each other, and in that, my question's getting off track. Do you think we're going to have
I get
a
what
game?
You're saying.
Do you think we're going to have a game where we can feel in the game and stuff like that?
Well, you would have. They do have like haptic sensor suits. Like they're not cheap, so it's rare that anyone has them, which is kind of what they have in Ready Player One. Haptic sensor suit.
Okay.
It's the same thing like your phone. It's got a haptic sensor. If you're typing, your phone will vibrate every time you hit one of the keys. That's called a haptic sensor. Now, when you wear the suit, like some people who play, like, let's say COD or something like that, if they're playing it in VR, or you go to the arcade and you got that cool game and you're running on the ball, kind of like in Ready Player One, where they have the booths that they can go into. It's kind of a same scenario, but you'll wear a vest, so when someone shoots you and it hits you in the lower left, maybe your kidney or something like that, you would feel the vibration on the front and the back if it was a through and through. But if you just got hit in the front or something like that, it would vibrate, just to show you got hit. And they have some stuff like that for like laser tag and stuff like that. I mean, but the technology's not